Hi, this is Travis, and this is Travis Does Kayak Fishing. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I'm out here on Lake Keowee fishing with QCKBF for the first time in a year. I said in the last video I'd explain a little more about that, and I didn't. And actually somebody called me on that, and really all I did was talk about them a little throughout the video. So at the end of this, man, I will kind of explain why it's the first time in a year and how you guys can avoid being in situations where you kind of have to backpedal and fall on your sword like I had to here. So let's get into the fishing, have a little fun, and then we'll get into the unfun talk at the end. So thanks for coming. And yeah, I'm trying to live on top water today. All right, let's get a 15-inch buoy back, see if we can get a better one. Uh, 10.5, but you never know, small bass. We're taking a lot of photos today, so let's get him back. All right, here's a 14 3/4. Let's get him back and see what we can get. So far so good. I am catching fish, not exactly the size that I need to catch, but we get a limit first and then we focus on culling. That's how these events go for me. I need to change my focus at some point, and I think I just need to start going big fish, big fish, big fish, big fish. Right now I'm not doing that. I don't have confidence in that. I need to practice fishing that way for a few weeks before I'm comfortable doing that in an event. I got a 14-incher, so I need one more for our limit. Let's get him back. And boy, I sure am happy that I'm spending all this time in these trees today. There's a limit. All right. We got 13 1/4. We're getting good fish. The bluegill pattern that I changed my riser to overnight. Yesterday I was throwing like a white one, and then I went to the to like a shad one. I have to look up the color, but basically it was more natural shad. Now I'm doing bluegill back here because it's primarily what I'm seeing, and it's catching bigger fish. We ain't got a good one yet. We need at least 2 good ones to do anything worth value. These little fish, they're not gonna do us any help. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna keep fishing this top water for a little bit longer, and then when it gets back here to where it's really muddy, we're switching it up and we're gonna go with a stain water tactic. Okay, so I'm throwing this bluegill colored riser today. Yesterday, the one I lost, it was an RT minnow color. I've thrown a bone one before and had good luck, but because I see so many bluegill back here, and I noticed that yesterday pre-fishing, that's what I picked up on the way home to replace the one I lost. Seems to be working to catch the fish, but again, I have concerns over the size. Are you smaller than the other? We're seeing every fish we can today. So the last one was like 10. All right. 10 inch. He might be small, but we'll see. He's 1/4 inch smaller than the last. Gonna help. You're the most. Yes, he is. All right. Here's a little fat 8-incher. Let's get him back. That one might be small enough. I'd like to get around a 6 and I'd feel pretty good about it. Damn it, I got spit up fish on my kayak. Here's a fun fact for you. At this point, I've suffered a fuse blow. Like my relay on the trolling motor has gone out, so I've had to bypass it. You really don't want to do that, but I am 2 miles from the ramp in an XTR 130 in a single motor event. There is no chance in hell I'm paddling 2 miles back right now. So we've bypassed all the safety valves and we're just hooked directly to the trolling motor. He's 8.5. He's actually bigger than that other one, so let's chunk that guy back. That's a bullshit fish. Get that little one back too, another 8.5. So there's this guy fishing in the area that he was a member of a former club I fished with, and I owe him something. No, they got the close rule, so you can DQ me if you want, but I apologize for getting in my feelings and trying to hurt you. That was the wrong thing to do behind your back, and it's not what I should have done there, Duran. I'm sorry about that. Now, I wasn't entirely sure he accepted my apology for my actions in our feud, but he did talk to me a little bit more at the end of the day. We did shake hands before he left the ramp, so I assume that's at least amicable. You know, there's no reason not to be friendly with each other when you see each other. You don't really have to be buddies. I'll send him a Facebook invite later. We'll see how that goes. But you can try to make peace, man. There's nothing wrong with it. I gain nothing by continuing to hold a grudge against somebody who exchanged some words, man. That's all it is. I know he did something to try to hurt me. I did something to try to hurt him in retaliation because I can be petty like that. And at the end of the day, I'd just rather not have that out there. And I feel better just knowing at least I finally got to say, hey, man, I did something to hurt you and I shouldn't have. So whether he actually accepts it and he's cool with me or not doesn't really matter. You do what you got to do, right? That's all you can do. So we move forward. It's been so long since I've caught a fish. I don't think you're going to be bigger than 13. No, he's not. He's only 11.5. Let's get him back. Bigger than 8, less than 12. Let's get him back. about 12, but he's not bigger than my 13. Shit on me. Fair enough. Alright. 13 3/4. Let's get him back and cast back over there. That is a kicker by half an inch, but I got like 5 minutes. And I really stunk it up. 58th out of 84. That's how good this club is. There's clubs I fish with. When you got about 30 to 40 people fishing, if you can just get a limit, you've got a puncher's chance at cashing. QCKBF is not that club. QCKBF is the elite club of the region. In the Carolinas, and I don't know what other areas or states you can go in our vicinity, Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, Virginia. I don't think there's another club running out of these areas that's anything like what Vinny Ferrari has built over here with QCKBF. It is elite. The entry fee is elite. The competitors are elite. I said earlier, I need at least 16 inch to feel good. That's for culling. You need to average 16 inch before you can even start thinking about culling with this club, and I am serious. These guys are cashing checks for fish 80 plus inches consistently just to get into the cashing range. You have to be on point. You want to fish these clubs because guys like Pastor Mike Hicks, who at the end who won it, he will give you the juice, man. He'll tell you things that you didn't even think of. There was an incident today where I was in the back of a pocket and I spooked a good fish, a 17, 18 incher that I really could have used. I had my sights on him, but I spooked him. I didn't know how to approach him, but I went to the presentation and found out, what Mike Hicks did the same day he spooked a fish. He pulled back out and he started fishing in again. Me? My dumb butt sit there and kept casting at this fish over and over and over again, knowing he was spooked and it probably wasn't helping a lure landing close to him. I should have pulled out, let him chilled out, and just worked the area a little bit more. I'm in no rush to catch him. He's back there. He's hanging out. You learn these by going to presentations with elite anglers. You learn that had I tied on the Chopo or the Whopper Plopper or any version you can think of, I might have had a better day. A lot of big fish were caught out here on the Chopo, and that's my favorite lure. I was hesitant to use it, and I should have, but you learn from fishing with the elite. So why did I not fish with QCKBF for a year? Because I hitched my cart to the wrong horse. I fished with a smaller club who I invested a lot into. I liked the environment of it, the feel of it, and it was kind of my introduction into kayak fishing recommended to a friend. I didn't realize the instability and the volatility of the club. So at the end of the day, you were I don't know. I don't want to say anything bad about it. I'll say QCKBF was the club I should have trusted. I got a negative view of the club and the guys who ran the club from so much negativity around me in this other club. It consumed me, and I bought in that maybe this guy's an asshole. In reality, he's not an asshole. He's working harder than any tournament director there is out there, and I had to find for myself that not all clubs are good. If I go to a club and I hear a lot of toxicity talking about the other anglers out, just nasty stuff for no reason, not just amongst friends, but just out loud, I'm out, man. It's not for me. But thanks for coming. That's what happened. Tied the cart to the wrong horse, and I paid and had to follow my sword, and hopefully I've made it better now. I've been on what I call an apology tour, so thanks everybody. Y'all come back, and hope you enjoyed.